So what is a framework here? A framework is created by using a programming language, right? So any of the framework, we have Java frameworks, .NET frameworks, and Python, Ruby, whatever the frameworks it may be, they are all created by using programming language. Can you see CodeIgniter, Laravel, Gent, and Cake PHP? All the frameworks are created by using PHP programming language. But here, one doubt for me: what is the difference between framework and programming language? If you can see, PHP is a programming language. Na? By using PHP, we can develop web application. By using framework, we can develop web application. What is the use of a framework? What is the use of PHP? Both are used to create the web application. By using PHP, we can develop web application. By using CodeIgniter, we can develop web application. What is the CodeIgniter here? Framework. CodeIgniter is a framework. Now we have to know what is the difference between these two. What PHP can do, what CodeIgniter can do. Both can do the same job. But what is the difference here? Remember carefully. For example, I want to tell you, guys, we want to validate email ID. Let us assume validate email in PHP, right? To validate email in PHP, for example, you are writing or validate mobile number. Okay, let us take validate mobile number or validate email ID, whatever it may be. So we have to do validations, right? Little bit small functionality I'm saying you actually. So for giving you the little difference between these guys, you want to validate email or mobile in PHP. At least you have to write 10 to 15 lines of code, guys. I'm writing you 10 to 15 lines of code you need to write if it is a PHP. The same I want to validate email or mobile in framework. What is a framework? CodeIgniter or Laravel or whatever it may be, guys. What is the number of lines of code you are going to write? You know, only one line of code is enough. One line of code is enough, guys. So, but here, whereas you are writing 15 lines of code to validate email ID and mobile number, so but if it is a framework, we no need to write 15 lines of code. We can write simply one line. That line will validate is valid email ID or not, that is valid mobile or not. That line, that is what framework. What is the framework? Simply, if you want to say, it will group the number of lines of code. It will give you as a simple function, right? What I want to say, for example, to create an account, we are writing 30 lines of code in core PHP. Let us assume. If it is a framework, we don't want to write the 30 lines of code. Already, they given a function. To that function, we have to pass the data. That's it. Framework, what a framework will do, you know, always it will help us to make our work faster. Framework will always provide you reusable snippets, code logics, guys. We will get always all reusable code logics we can get. If it is a core PHP, we have to write each and everything from our own. If it is a framework, already they're written and we have to know how to use them. That's the only thing you have to know in the framework, guys. Framework is easy to learn. I don't know, PHP may be tough to learn, but I can say framework is very, very easiest programming language, easiest thing to learn, guys. Any of the thing, any of the framework you want to learn, framework is easy when compared to PHP, seriously, right? So why? Because here in the framework, we don't want to research or anything, guys. Just how to use the framework. If you know, that's enough. By using the framework, we can get the website. And moreover, by using a framework, we can reduce the application development time also. If, for example, you are developing a PHP application, to develop the PHP application in core PHP, I mean, whatever the website it may be, or a school management application, hospital management application, you are developing this application by using PHP. Let us assume this may take 6 to 7 months if you are using PHP. If I use the same by using framework, hardly 3 to 4 months is enough to complete that application. Cost is reducing as well as time is reducing, right? We know that if cost reduces, if time reduces, application development cost also will be reduced, right? That's the reason, guys. Frameworks, and one more point I want to tell you, frameworks by default, they will come with security. For security implementation in core PHP, we have to write a lot of logics, our own logics we have to write, guys, for implementing the security. But if it is a framework, by default, they will come with the security. And we don't want to write anything, guys. They all come with the security. So we don't worry about much, worry about security. By default, frameworks, almost all frameworks will come with security. So we can easily implement the application development. Frameworks having a lot of advantages, guys. I know personally, I'm saying you guys, most of the companies in PHP, the companies which are using PHP, they will use always frameworks to create their web application. You know one thing, CodeIgniter, guys, This framework I am seeing from last 2012, 13, 14 onwards. I'm seeing this framework. CodeIgniter 3 from 2013, 2012 onwards it was there. I don't know how many it was previously also there, but I started using CodeIgniter from 2014 onwards. But still today, I observed a lot of companies are using CodeIgniter because it's a flexibility. We have Laravel also, we have Gen framework also, we have Cake PHP also, we have different frameworks. Once upon a time, Cake PHP and CodeIgniter are the competitors each other. But CodeIgniter is used in most of the companies, guys, because it's easiness, because it's flexibility, and CodeIgniter framework will generate a search engine friendly URLs, maybe the reason, and most of the people are using this CodeIgniter. And one more thing, very good advantage of CodeIgniter is, it is a lightweight framework. Lightweight, the applications which are created in CodeIgniter, they will be loaded very faster, guys. They will be loaded very faster. So the loading time of a CodeIgniter will be very less. Within fraction of seconds, the application will be loaded. That is the advantage of the CodeIgniter. That's why the CodeIgniter, most of the products in our PHP are used CodeIgniter framework. People will say Laravel is also having very good demand, but I know personally Laravel is okay and CodeIgniter is also very big, very good, and mostly used applications in our web is CodeIgniter, guys. So demandable framework CodeIgniter is right now. So, but CodeIgniter 1, 2, 3, third version, 3 versions are there, guys. Now we have CI4, right? We have CodeIgniter 4. So this is, and this is going to be CI3. But one thing I want to tell you, there are a lot of differences between CI3 and CI4, guys, because the CI4 framework was completely rewritten, but architecture is same. Architecture is same. If you can understand 2-3 sessions, you will get the CodeIgniter 4 also easily. But I want to tell you, sir, you may have a doubt now, sir, which one I have to learn, sir, CodeIgniter 3, or you want me to learn directly CI4? But I want to tell you, if you want to understand CI4, you have to know at least some basics of CI3. Definitely, without knowing CI3, it will be somewhat difficult to you to learn the CI4 framework. But don't worry, for CI4, I will provide you a better resource, guys. Once the CI3 is completed, you can directly jump to learning the CI4. It is easy. But one thing, CI4 was released very recently, but most of the companies are not started using CI4. People still using CI3 only. Remember carefully. This is also keep it in mind. You may have it out. Don't learn CI4 directly. So you have to wait for some time, but you have to learn CI3 only because it is the demandable framework in the market right now, CI3, not CI4. Why? Because CI4 was released recently. Months back, the CI4 framework was released. But if you're learning CI4 framework, companies are not started using CI4. They are using still CI3 only. So you should know CI3 very well, then CI4. If you want, you can upgrade it later. First complete CI3. Once that is completed, then you can go for the thing, guys, right? So this is all about the thing. What is a framework, guys? A framework is a concising. Do you know the word, guys? Concising, CONCISC, something like they will use the word concising and reducing the number of lines of code, guys. Concise the code. They will use the word, right? You heard concise the code. What is the meaning of concising the code? Reduce the number of lines of code. I can say number of lines of code. We can reduce the number of lines of code. For example, you want to validate email ID and mobile number, then you are writing 10 to 50 lines of code. So if it is a framework, what is the meaning of it? Just one line of code is enough, I told you, na? So that is the meaning of reducing the number of lines of code. Framework will always help you a lot. It's a simple story, guys. We can remember the story easily, right? Like the framework is also not much easy. The framework is, and don't worry, I will make you the things very clear, right? Right. Now, the framework CodeIgniter 3 setup. How can we set up the project, guys? So to set up this project, first of all, we need environment. What is the environment? XAMPP server. I think everybody is installed this XAMPP server, I'm thinking. So if you can install XAMPP, we cannot call it as a server actually, XAMPP tool, guys. Okay, XAMPP tool. Because it's a toolkit, na? So toolkit contain XAMPP, XAMPP, A for Apache, MySQL, PHP, right? Okay. So first of all, this software should be installed. I think you already know how to install. I think this is already installed in your computer, right? We know htdocs our root directory now, right? What are the frameworks you want to implement? Laravel framework, CodeIgniter framework, or WordPress, or Joomla, or Drupal, whatever it may be. First of all, we have to download that framework file and you have to copy to your HDocs, guys. Okay, let me show you here. I think I have already installed the XAMPP environment, and see, this is an add-on on our XAMPP, guys. Framework, right? Frameworks require Apache, like how PHP will work, same like framework also, right? This is the official website, CodeIgniter.com. So here, download section. Here, documentation, we have CodeIgniter latest version 4.4. Don't go with this. And you can click on this menu item, guys. Download, right? Click on this menu item. Download menu item. Here, what you want to download. CodeIgniter 2, this is, right? We don't want this CodeIgniter 2. CodeIgniter 2 came out into the market 2015. Okay. 2x branch originally released January 2011. But officially it came into the market 2015. Okay, don't worry. This is the latest one, guys, CodeIgniter 3. But to work with CodeIgniter 2, we need PHP 7.2. I think you all installed latest version of PHP, I'm thinking, if you want to work with CodeIgniter 4. But right now, this is not required for us. We are going with the CodeIgniter 3. Okay, download this. Click on this download button. Right, you are getting a zip file. Did you see? You are getting a zip file, BCITCI, CodeIgniter zip. What is BCIT? British Columbia Institute of Technology. There you can see CodeIgniter was created Elise Lab earlier, right? Fostered by BCIT, British Columbia Institute of Technology. These are the people who is maintaining the CodeIgniter. Anyhow, the zip file was downloaded, guys. So go to the folder, downloaded folder. I'm going here, right? Can you see this is the folder we got now, right? So extract this. If we can extract this, sorry, I have to extract it now, right? So let me, sorry, close this and extract this. After extracting, so I'm going to extract here, extract the files here. You will find a folder. Oh, already is there. Which is showing that already there. Do one thing. Let me copy this and let me keep this into a folder. I'm in the downloads only. Okay. Let me take CI3 folder I taken. Whatever it may be, right? This is the zip file, we got it, right? Extract here. Let me check. I'm going to extract here. A folder you got, right? If you can open this folder, these are our project files, guys. What we need to do, I have to rename this folder. What is the folder we are getting? BC80CI CodeIgniter B73 is something that you are getting, right? Rename this. What is the project you want to do? Tell me, please. You want to do a news application? You want to do a college application? You want to do an employee application, or you want to do hospital management, or whatever the application you want to create, the name of the application will be provided here, guys, right? So for example, I want to go to my HDocs. 1 minute, let me go to my HDocs. Is there a lot of projects are there in my HDocs, right? Go to this, and these are my projects, guys. Can you see? I have news application, I have payments application. Some of the project names, these are all, right? This is 9am OCT, this is Trikarni, and like this, I have some of the applications are there here. Right. So now what I need to do, this is the D9X dev. This is Drupal related stuff. Right? This is CodeIgniter 4 related stuff. So this is my CI4 again. And this is one of the news application which is related to HTML stuff, I believe. Right. Let me do one thing, guys. At least I want to create one news application. Let me rename this as news_world. I have to create one small project name, news application, or e-commerce application, whatever it may be, guys, that is completely your choice. So what I want to do here, let me go to the downloadable folder we extracted here, right? Whatever the folder we extracted, and this is the folder we got. I'm renaming this now as news, right? This is your project name. What is this news? News application was CodeIgniter. Now you are in downloads, right? Copy this folder. I'm just copying this. You have to save into your HDocs folder. I'm in HDocs now. Let me paste here. You see, a news project was pasted. So your application was in localhost. Generally, if it is in local server, first let me make my server. Yeah, both servers are in running mode. Now I have to go to, if it is a local application, localhost CI4. Can you see here? I am going to localhost CI4. This is CI4 project is running now, right? So you can see CI4 is running. What is the folder name you created just now? News, localhost news. If you can type this, can you see your project will be gets loaded, guys? That's it. We don't want to do anything. Localhost/news is the folder name. Hit enter, and this is what the welcome screen for you. Welcome to CodeIgniter. The files are loading. Please be patient. And here it is displaying some message on the screen. Can you read this? And can you see the Here, page rendered within fraction of second, 0.086 seconds, the page was rendered. See how much faster that is. This is the only framework will give you the time to load the page, how much time it is taking to load the page and all. This is the one framework which will give you the things clearly, guys. Seriously, because CodeIgniter is one of the fastest framework while it is loading and less in size also, guys. Okay, so anyhow, read these messages. Welcome to CodeIgniter. The page you are looking at is being generated dynamically by CodeIgniter. If you would like edit the page, you will find it. Whatever the file, whatever the content you are able to see now, if you want to edit it, go to this application folder, use folder, and welcome message.php. Right here, the corresponding controller for this page is founded. See, this is welcome.php. Did you understand the yesterday's diagram? We created MVC diagram, right? Do you remember that MVC diagram? What that MVC diagram is saying for you? Right? So when we are sending to the browser, first the request received by the architecture, MVC architecture. In MVC architecture, first who will receive the request? Controller. See, what is the responding controller to display this? Welcome.php is the name of the controller. In this welcome.php, what it is doing, it is communicating with the view folder. It is generating the output to you. Let me open the diagram, guys, so that you will get more clarity. Let me go to the CI3. There is images folder. Oh, this is the image yesterday we created. Can you check this image once again? Please check this image, please. So this is right. So this is the browser. We typed localhost news. When we type localhost news, first the request went to controller. From controller, the request went to views. From views, the request again back to your controller. Then it will be displayed in the output in the browser, guys. It will load a HTML file. It loads a HTML file and it will send the output to you, guys. That's what the message is saying, that right. The corresponding controller for this page found it. Whatever the output we are able to see, this output was generated from this welcome.php file. Where is this file? It was in controllers. Where is controllers? It was in application, right? This is what exactly the architecture, guys, right? Now what I want to do now, I want to show you how exactly the architecture, guys, here. So go to the project folder. Just now you created a folder, right? What is the folder name? News folder. If you can open this news folder, we have a lot of files inside of it. Don't worry. Application and systems, and one more is index.php. These are the three major files we have to talk about. User guide, guys. User guide means this is the user manual. If you want, you can gone through the manual also. Can you see it? If you can click the user guide will be loaded from your local computer. So you can read the manual also. By seeing the manual also, we can learn PHP. Don't worry, I will help you how to gone through this manual and how to learn our CodeIgniter. Definitely, I will show you the way of learning. Right? Don't go this manual immediately. Wait for some time. I will guide you how to go to this. Okay, fine. So this is what exactly the CodeIgniter setup. But I want to see the folder structure. System, guys. The system folder, CodeIgniter is recommending you don't touch this folder. Don't touch the system folder, because all the core files related to our framework are available in system folder, right? So all the core files, if you are removing or deleting any of the system files, the framework may not work, because the system folder contain all the CodeIgniter frame related and supported files available in this. Whatever the files you want to create, models, views, and controllers you want to create, right, as per the yesterday's diagram, those are going to be available into the application folder. All the application, your HTML, CSS, and everything will be going to be here, guys. Open this folder. Now these are some files available. As for our MVC architecture, can you see there is a controllers folder, there is a models folder, there is a views folder. Whatever the HTML files you are going to create, those files are going to be available in views folder. And whatever the database related files you are going to create are going to be available models folder. Whatever the controlling logic you are going to write, those controlling logic available in controllers folder. Do you see in this message here on the screen, the corresponding controller for this found data, right? What is the phrase? Welcome.php. In our application folder, we have controllers folder. In this, we have welcome.php. What is a controller? It's simply a class, Amma. What is a controller? It's simply a class. If we can open this, can you see? I open, there is a file called welcome.php, right? What is the corresponding view for this? Go to the views folder. There you can see welcome message.php. Whatever the content you want to edit, you can come to this page and you can edit the content. Automatically, the content we are able to see in the front end that will get updated. right? So this is what the preview you are able to see. This preview is completely coming from this welcome message.php. For example, I'm editing this page, open with editor. Right, we have some code here. This is welcome to CodeIgniter is the page title. Now I want to write some heading here. Welcome to CodeIgniter news application. I'm changing the title, news application. This is what my application. Oh, refresh the page. If we can refresh, the content is updated now. Welcome to CodeIgniter news application. See how this is a HTML file, right? This HTML file, this is the HTML content. Where is this HTML content? This was into the views folder. So are you calling anything like this application, something like what is your application, something, are you calling the path like this application slash, what is the folder name, views slash, are you writing something called welcome underscore message.php, something like this? Is this the way of calling a file? It will show you an error, access forbidden. You cannot access a file directly in framework, remember carefully. So whatever the files you have in the views folder, whatever the files you have in the models folder, you have to access using controller only. You cannot access those files directly. That's why it is getting error. It is not allowing you guys. So I told you already, by default frameworks with come with security. We do not access the framework files directly. It is going to give you access forbidden. You don't have permission to access welcome message.php. Requested object is not available. So you cannot. That's what the framework, guys. So this is the architecture of the framework. Can you see what is this application folder? We have views folder, we have models folder, we have controllers folder. All these are things, guys. But if you can observe here, we have cache, config, and some other folders are there, guys. Here, each and every folder is going to play a key role. Caching, generally, why we use caching, Facebook today, we are saying, right? Facebook is giving you very good performance. How this is giving you very good performance? Because of the technology called caching. Caching means they will store the data of your website data into cache folder. For every time they won't go to database. They won't go to database. Don't worry, I will explain you regarding caching. We have a separate session regarding caching, guys. Definitely there I will explain you very clearly regarding caching, right? Configuration. This is the heart of your CodeIgniter framework. Heart, H-E-A-R-T. I'm talking about, try to see. What is the folder structure we are seeing? Cache folder. Okay, this is related to save the cached files into our application. By using this cache concept, we can improve the application performance. How we can improve the application performance and all, we will see in the later sessions, guys. Next one is the config folder. All the configuration settings which are related to our framework are available in the config folder. So this is simply heart of H-E-A-R-T, heart of our CI3. Remember carefully. If this is not there, nothing will happen. Config folder, all the configuration settings which are related to our framework are available in this folder. Some of the important files and are available in this, guys. If you can check this folder, open this folder, config folder, the second one. Now you can see all the files which are very, very important for our framework, guys. Right, autoload.php, config.php, database.php. Here you have to configure the database. But you know how to connect to database in core PHP. But if it is a framework, that is a different story again, guys. Okay, right. So don't worry. So each and everything we will discuss slowly, right? Just I'm giving you the importance of the folder. Controllers, all the controller class files are available here. All the core, if you want to extend any core functionality, they are going to be available here. Helpers, guys. In our CodeIgniter, we have to talk about two more things. Yesterday, we talked about models, views, and controllers, right? We have to talk about one more thing called helpers and one more thing called libraries. This is all about the CodeIgniter libraries, right? So what is the one more thing? Models, views, and controllers. These 5 concepts we are going to heard about mostly in our framework when we are learning. So we can listen about these 5 words: helpers, libraries, models, views, controllers. That's it. This is all about our framework. What is a helper? What is a library? What is a model? What is a view? What is a controller? That's enough. Library is a nothing but it's a CodeIgniter provide you some predefined process, guys. Some predefined classes. Predefined classes. We can also create our own classes also. We can our own classes and predefined classes. It's all about classes, guys. Our own classes and predefined classes. Our own classes also we can create them, as well as predefined classes also we can create them. What is a library? Simply said, library is a class file. What is a class? You already know. Class is a collection of properties and methods, right? So by using those, we can reuse wherever we want. Na? Right? There is some predefined classes are there. We can, if you want, you can create our own classes also. Right? Helper. Helper is nothing but, guys, it is not a class actually. Helper means it is a collection of reusable function. Collection of reusable functions only. Reusable functions. This is the only thing. So library means it's a class. Helper means it's a collection of reusable functions. Okay, this is what. So the next folders, if we can check here, we have third party. Some of you are asking third party. When we are working with any third party APIs like payment gateways or any other SMS APIs or any third party other APIs, if you are working, definitely we have to download the libraries, right? Those libraries we can keep into this third party folder. The files which are related to payment gateway, keep the files into the third party folder, right? Such a manner. Right, so we have views and logs. If you have any error messages when we are executing the program, definitely we will get error messages. To handle those error messages, sometimes we can use the log also. In this log also, the error message will be saved. By default, they won't be saved. For saving the error messages into log folder, we have to do some other work, guys. Here we have language. What is the language? CodeIgniter can support multiple languages. I want to load my website in Telugu. I want to load my website in Hindi. I want to load my website in Tamil, Malayalam, whatever it may be, guys. English, right? So language translation. You want to convert your website into Hindi. You want to convert your website into Arabic, Urdu, whatever it may be. For everything we can implement. If you want to implement language translation for your website, this language folder is going to be help us. If you don't want, then don't worry about the language folder. What about the hooks here? Hooks means, remember carefully, generally, what is a hook, guys? Hook means, you can Google, I want to show you hooks, wall hooks. So what are these called, guys? These are hooks. Na? They can hang something, kada? So we can call hook. These are some things called hooks. We can hang something there. Right here in CodeIgniter also, if you want to add some additional functionality to our framework, we can use the concept called hooks, guys. This additional functionality for everybody, right? So for example, you want to execute some logic before executing each and every controller or after executing each and every controller. You want to write the logic for every controller, you want to execute one logic. For every model, you want to execute one logic. At the time of this point of time, we can use the concept called hook. Will always execute before calling and after calling of every controller, every model, every request also. You are sending a request to me, guys. When you're sending a request to me, I have to verify are you sending a secure connection or not. I have to verify, right? So in this type of time, definitely we can help us. We can take the help of hooks, guys. Hooks help us. They will do something before coming, after going. You are coming to my website. Before coming to my website, first my hook will stop you. It will verify, are you valid or not? If you are valid, it will send to my application. Otherwise, it won't. Hook will always provide us some additional functionality to us that is called hook, right? So this is the folder structure actually, right? So config folder and mostly used folders, you know, guys, we will use config folder, right? Controllers folder and models and views. These are the mostly used folders, guys, right? Mostly used for four folders. But libraries and helpers also we can use, but very rarely we can go for helpers and see maximum CodeIgniter provide predefined helpers as well as predefined libraries. Sometimes whatever the libraries the framework is providing, we can use them. But some of the libraries you want to create on your own, right? Your custom libraries, your custom helpers are going to be saved here, right? This is the custom helpers, custom libraries. Why should I go for custom library? Why should I go for a custom helper? We will see in the upcoming sessions, guys. Don't worry. This is just the folder structure we have given you. This is all about the framework structure, MVC architecture. As for the architecture, the folders are there now. We have a lot of folders, but all folders are not required. We have to majorly talk about yesterday. The diagram also, we majorly talked about 3 folders, controllers, and these are the views, and these are the models. Right? Slowly, we can elaborate one by one. Right? So in the next session, we can discuss some other things, guys. Right? Yeah. Thank you, guys. Any doubts? Let me know.